Alright, so I pretty much made up sort of like a theory of why the Celtics will 100% win the championship sometime in the next like 5 years, 2 years, whatever the heck you want to say. Alright, so I'm going to be running down the starting lineup. You got Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, Jay Crowder, Amir Johnson, and Al Horford, right? That's a really solid starting lineup. You guys might not say that it competes for a championship just yet, right? Off the bench, you got a promising Marcus Smart, you got Gerald Green, who I think he is actually a shooting guard. Jaylen Brown, a really young, really promising small forward who in 4 years' time could develop into a actually really good player in the NBA. At power forward, you got Amir Johnson. And at center, you got Al Horford. Or I think I just said that backwards. Or I said Al Horford twice or something. But anyway, at the backup power forward position, you got really no one special, but at center position, you got a decent enough backup in Kelly Olynyk. And also, I think that they should be looking to trade either Kelly Olynyk or Tyler Zeller for a decent backup power forward because they're in trouble at that position. But, alright, so hear me out here. This seems really solid, right? But the thing that's going to push them over the edge in the offseason is their salary cap room. Look at all of this salary cap room. You got Isaiah Thomas on like a $7 million contract, or maybe it's like 8.5 million for the next 2 years. And you got Avery Bradley, I think $8 million a year for 2 years, or maybe it's 3 years. Jay Crowder, who's locked up on a freaking awesome deal, like 6 million for 4 years, for an 80 overall in 2K. That's really decent. Amir Johnson expiring contract, which is really good. They need to trade Jonas Jerebko for an expiring contract too, because I think he got more than 1 year on his contract. And at center, Al Horford. He has taken up quite a bit of salary cap room. But I think what they got to do in the offseason, they got to sign Blake Griffin. Right? Hear me out. I think he's on an expiring contract this year. And if they don't sign Blake Griffin, they can just sign a really good power forward besides Blake Griffin. But they need to sign Blake Griffin in free agency. That's my thinking. Or maybe DeAndre Jordan, because I think... No. DeAndre Jordan's contract isn't expiring this year. But... yeah, they need to sign a really good power forward, an elite power forward like Blake Griffin, Balake, as we like to call him in the 2K community. Anyway, they need to sign him, right? And last of all, they have the Nets pick, which is going to turn into, I predict, the second through fourth. They need to trade up or just trade for Harry Giles, like as soon as the draft ends, or just like during the draft. But anyway, they got to trade for Harry Giles if they're not going for like Blake Griffin, right? Harry Giles, an extremely solid power forward and a future NBA superstar, one of the best college players. Okay, one of the best college players, and heck, he's NBA ready. I'll be honest, but he's not eligible for the draft. All right. So they sign him if they don't sign Blake Griffin or whatever. And then they'll have tons of money to make a really good second unit. So what they need to do, they need to sign Zach Randolph to a pretty small deal because I think he should sign for a little bit less. And they need to sign him to 10 million for 1 year at that backup power forward position. I'm not really sure who they want to sign at center, but make sure it's a 1 year deal, okay? Same with shooting guard, okay? So those three positions, they need to sign a really good backup, and then they're 100% set, okay? 100% freaking set, okay? Just to win a championship, easily. Like, they can beat the Cavs, they can beat freaking the Spurs. They might even be able to beat the Warriors. And I know what you're thinking, the Warriors? But hear me out here. You got Curry up against Isaiah Thomas. Curry has the advantage, but it's not an absolute blowout. You You got Avery Bradley versus Klay Thompson. Avery Bradley's a lockdown defender, and he isn't really looking to score it that much. So I think he actually has a slight advantage over Klay just because he doesn't really like to score that much. Jay Crowder up against Kevin Durant, and maybe KD will walk in free agency, especially if the Cavs win the championship in 2016 or 2017. Really, it'll be. So I think that's actually vital for the Celtics to win a championship. KD will walk maybe and sign with another team. Heck, maybe he'll even get together with his Thunder again. I don't know. But they gotta battle KD. Jay Crowder up against KD. Even if they do play together, it's not that big of an advantage for KD because Jay Crowder, I think he's a pretty good defensively. You got Harry Giles up against Draymond Green. That shouldn't be that much of a problem. Or Blake Griffin potentially. And I think Blake Griffin actually has the edge over Draymond. But I mean, Harry Giles, he'll be able to hold his own, especially if he comes to hustle. And last of all, you have Al Horford up against Zaza Pachulia. That's where the Celtics need to capitalize. They need to make Al Horford have the ball tons because he's up against Zaza Pachulia. They need to get like a double and just pass it out to one of their perimeter players, as I might have said before. Thomas, Bradley, and Jay Crowder, I think, can all shoot the ball. Same with Al Horford. He can also space the floor that way, right? And then your second unit, you got Zach Randolph at that backup power forward position, Marcus Smart at that backup point guard, and then all around good depth. So they need to not play their bench as much as possible. They need to hustle and kind of drain out the energy of the Warriors and just have both of their bench units out, because the Warriors, they don't have much salary cap, so they don't really have a good bench, to be honest. But the Celtics will, okay? So that's why I think the Celtics can win the championship in 2018. I hope you guys enjoyed, and be sure to leave a like since I'm a desperate sellout. Yeah, let's see if we can get this video to 900,000 likes. If we cannot do that, I will, hold up, I'm thinking, I will drown myself, no, not in bleach, in freaking apple cider vinegar. I don't know, I give up on these, but seriously, drop a like. I don't want to set goals, but yeah, just drop a like because I'm a money hungry sellout. And, I mean, let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments, because the Warriors are OP. But if the Celtics play their cards right, I really think that they could win another championship and set up a potential dynasty if players like Zach Randolph, Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Avery Bradley, if they're willing to take discounts. Same with Al Horford. And if Zach Randolph doesn't decline that much. Yeah, so tell me if you disagree or not in the comments, or if you think the Warriors will overpower them, or heck, if you think the Cavs will also beat them. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Until next time.